Hi everyone, welcome back. Well, heard about Hatoda Tyagi? Rather, it might be a fictional character, but you will be astonished to hear, for such a person who actually existed, thus using a hammer as his main weapon, he killed many. Well then, in India, near Jaipur, from the city of Sri Ganganagar, comes a very infamous serial killer, Kampatimar Shankariya. Heard of him? Not right. He was an Indian serial killer. Very little is known about him, with just a handful of sources and a newspaper article, no bigger than a needle in a haystack. And here goes the story. India's most dangerous serial killer, also one of the world's worst too. Mr. Shankariya came into existence, somewhere in Rajasthan in 1952, the same year Mother Teresa opened up her first home for the dying. A creepy coincidence, indeed. Who knew what he did till 1977? But that's the year when various people all across Rajasthan, Punjab and Haryana were found dead with a broken neck. Like a bad 70s Bollywood villain, Shankariya terrorized the area by smashing his victims under the ear with a hammer. Frightening, right? But stay tuned while we uncover more. Shankariya gained the nickname Kampatimar because of the way he killed. In the word Kampatimar here, Gan means ear in Hindi. Yes, what a way of gaining such an infamous name. He used a hammer to strike people in the side of the head, at the eustachian tube, or inner ear where it leaves the cheek. Thus attacking a random person with his weapon, just how unfortunate the person is. Many may wonder, why did he chose that part out of all the available places to strike? Here is our reasoning about it. That place is very near to the eustachian tube or the inner ear. Eustachian tube or inner ear is a place which does maintain pressure regulation, and it connects the inner ear. The inner ear is composed of the bony cochlea and the vestibular system, which plays a role in balance of the human body. We don't know if he had this anatomical knowledge, but he definitely knew hitting there will result in imbalance of body in the victim, which will make his work easier. One of the sources said that he mainly sat in dark alleys at night, covered himself under a blanket, just camouflaging himself, and surprised the unsuspecting man or woman with a strike. Yes, he was a murderer, but not a sexist. His murder spree spanned from 1977 to 1978, with a huge number of dead bodies falling along with him, where there are estimates that he killed up to 70 people, making him one of the fearsome serial killers in the world. Wikipedia lists him in the top 10 serial killers by no of victims. So, why did he do it? What is the motive? Because he enjoyed it as much as you seemingly enjoy the YouTube. It gave him pleasure. It's like a source of great satisfaction for him. Quite annoying, right? This makes sense to those who are victims of these kind of illness. How would you feel when you are walking alone in the dark and accidentally encounter Mr. Shankariya hiding inside a blanket? Frightening, right? But don't worry, because as a man with a record of 70 recorded and charged killings, in 1979, he was caught and sentenced to death. He was only 26 when he was captured. He was hung at Jaipur, India, on May 16, 1979. He was at such young age when he committed such horrible crimes. He finally lamented his ways, and he expressed it as, "I have murdered in vain." And he declared, "Nobody should become like me." This data, which we got in the process of digging the long-lost, grave-like posts of the serial killers, who are forgotten in the history, because unlike US and European Union countries, countries like India are not willing to release the legal documents of these criminals for the public. Amid of these, we got pieces of information which we compiled for you as a simple yet authentic documentary through varying sources.